Sarah, our internet's just terrible. We need to switch back.
Terrible internet. Hi guys, Tiffany here. Welcome to my quilting life. If you're new to my channel, subscribe, like, share with your friends, as well as don't forget to comment if you're watching the replay. I'm going to say all this super fast because for some strange reason I have a feeling that I'm going to lose it soon. I am on a King Quilter 2 Elite Special Edition on a 12-foot frame. It's an 18-inch wide machine, or throat space, whatever. And I'm quilting on a customer's quilt, or client, or whatever you want to call it, quilt. And I'm going to do edge to edge all over feathers. Why? Because I can. And I put you guys in this angle so that way you can see edge to edge.
Hello again, Kim. Hello again.
All right. So let's hope that this actually works nicely this whole time. So I'm just going to get started because I'm going to work from edge to edge.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Mary. Hi, Rachel.
All right, so
hi, Ellen.
I want to note something with this whole long arming thing. Since I take off my take-up rail for the quilt top itself, I have no like line across here that says where I cannot go past when I'm quilting. So what I like to do is my basting stitches tell me how far I can go. So my basting stitches stop right here. So that means I need to be at least an inch above that or more, just to give myself room all the way across when I'm doing feathers or any kind of edge to edge design. So I need to at least make sure that anything that I do is within that distance. So I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna drop my needle.
Hi, Maxie Doodle. Hi, Joy. Laura says pretty quilt.
It is a pretty quilt. It's my client's quilt, and I need to get it done because I'm behind on all my jobs.
Hi, Rowena. Rowena says, what a beautiful quilt. Seriously, I need to visit you and bring about 6 quilts for you to quilt.
All right, so obviously the machine and all that will be kind of in the way in some parts of this video, but obviously you'll have to just get over because you get to watch my hand motions and stuff while I'm doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and make a spine across this whole entire area that I'm working on. I'm quilting at 10 stitches per inch. My spine does not need to be necessarily perfect because it's going to get filled in with feathers.
The bird's listening and making enchiladas to make us hungry.
Yeah.
Hi, Linda. Linda says hi.
So now I'm going to come back to the beginning. Now I've made a big, huge spine, and I'm going to start my feathers.
Ellen asks, what will you charge to quilt a king-size quilt?
2 cents a square inch is what I charge, unless you want super fancy custom fanciness.
Hi, Joyce.
So now I'm going to come back to the beginning, and I'm going to start doing my feathers on the top because I find it to be easier to just go from the top and then come back and do the bottom ones because I'm not doing bump back feathers. I'm just doing feather plumes, just feather plumes all over.
Hi, Melinda.
So I'm stitching at 10 stitches per inch still, which works for me, and what I need to do, I'll get it done.
Becca says OMG.
I'm just going to start putting some feather plumes in. And I'm making them kind of big because...
No, that does not include batting.
No, it doesn't include batting. I don't supply batting because everybody wants different batting, and if I had the money, it would be very, very expensive to buy tons of different brands of batting for everybody's wants and needs. So... So I'm making these pretty big because this client that you can probably see right here, this client doesn't like heavy quilting, so I'm doing big feathers. Some areas, obviously, there will be little feathers, but because she doesn't want heavy quilting, I'm going with the lighter, the bigger, thicker, fatter feathers.
Okay, so the video quality looks good. I can see the fabric and print. sense.
So I just go out and then come back into the spine. And I do make it beep quite often. And I do accidentally hit my back bar, which I'm too high for my feathers.
Hi, Linda. We got another Linda on. We got two Lindas, Linda Wagner and Linda Dollar.
Hello, hello. I gotta pick. I'm gonna leave it. Screw it. I'm gonna leave it.
What is Becca hit 8,000 subscribers?
Yep.
Oh, congratulations, Becca. Ellen mentioned congratulations on your weekend, so I wasn't sure if that's what it was. Becca says thanks, we need to get Tiffy to 3K.
Yes.
Hi Kathleen. Kathleen says good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm literally, oops, stay down. I'm literally making big feathers, following it around. I should have picked them out, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it because sometimes that happens. And I'm just bringing my feathers into each other, but I'm still leaving lots of gapping. That way it's not heavily quilted. There's still lots of space, but you can see all the feather plumes as I go. So all I do is bring them out. There's no bumping back. There's no doubling. There's no crossing over anything. It's just simple, easy, quickly done feathers all over. And I just leave the spine and come back to the spine every time. And if you wanted, you can do your spine by just putting chalk down. I don't do that because, well, then you got to go and remove all the chalk anyway. And then sometimes if it doesn't come into the chalk, you'll have these little markings where you've sewn and it doesn't meet up. So a spine is actually a good idea to actually sew out instead of drawing it out and then doing your feathers off of that. That way you don't have all these non-meeting up areas and it looks flawless without. I mean, flawless with it, you know what I mean?
Becca says I can't wait till we can do this together, Tiff.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
Oh, Mary asked Becca how's the build going. Yes, I was going to ask that too, Becca. Becca says the frame is just about built. Should be done by tonight. Becca says now comes the tedious task of getting the tension set.
Yeah. Mine took a while. If you hear beeping, that's just my stitch regulator because I stitch faster than the stitch regulator. But if I put it in manual mode, which means my needle never stops going up and down, I can't never get a percentage. My machine goes by percentage. I don't have a percentage that I comfortably can have the same stitches per inch, even though it seems like I would because I quilt so fast, but for some reason I'll have like a 10 stitch, a 12 stitch per inch, and it just changes because I can't get that correct manual mode number that works best for my quickness. So I just deal with the beeping.
Hi, June. Hi.
Hi, June. Hi, everybody that's joining.
Becca says, I love that you're just here to create. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Linda. Mary says I can turn the volume of the alarm on mine down.
I don't know how on mine. I actually have never played with the alarm mode button.
Hi, Emily. Emily's here. Thank you, Becca. Becca posted on. Hi, Myra. Myra says hello.
Okay, so I stop right here, and now I'm going to go back to the beginning and go on the underside now. And that's how quick and easy it is. But let me show you what the top side looks like on its own. And you guys are connected to a cord, but I hope that you can see. So you can see what it looks like from
Mary
the top
says
side.
That she never messed with the beeping volume either, that the guy at the shop told her that when she bought it.
See, focus, there we go. So that's what the top side looks like when it's only that done.
Becca says
So
nicely
now let's do the bottom side. And again, I'm keeping you guys on this so that you can see, oops, the whole, the motions of my body. Oh my God, stay in, you stupid little holder thing.
Do you want me to play with that while we move the quilt?
No.
Okay, well, let me.
Okay, so now I'm going to go
Help you.
on the underside. And actually, I can advance just a little bit now because now I don't really need to have that bar where I accidentally hit the bar up there. I just need to go up just a little bit. That way when I blend, no, I'm not hooking, I'm not unhooking.
Oh, okay.
That way when I blend both the rows together, so when I come to do the next row of this, that way they'll blend together nicely. So I just went up just a little bit so that way I can not pass this like line right here. And it looks good within my throat space. Snip that away real quick. So you can see I'm just filling it in, but same as the last side, I'm keeping the same distance between everything. That way everything lines up nicely. I wonder if there is a way to turn that down real quick. Hold on. I'm going to look just in case.
Well, you're all going to find out together.
No, 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 no.
What about the screen on the back?
Nope. Let's see. Nope. Nope, nope, and nope, nope.
Becca, I was looking forward to you coming out
Nope,
here and
none
playing
of
with
these.
Tiff on the machine.
None of these have a volume for my beep. We'll just have to live with my beeping.
quilt you're quilting, Tiffany.
Thank you. Oh, and the color glide thread that I'm using today is called Steel Blue. It's like a light blue. It's called Steel Blue. You can see it up here.
This is the fourth one now for this
specific
customer?
client,
Yeah.
yes.
And she's very talented.
Trying to go slow so it doesn't. So BB. So BB. It's like dog hair or something on here.
Hi Lisa. Lisa says good evening. What a gorgeous quilt.
Okay, so row one done. So before I advance this, I want you guys to see.
Oh, I could have taken those off. That was my job.
We're going to come up close so you can see.
Wow, that's really beautiful.
So they're big so that they're not so close together. That way it's not super heavy quilting because my client doesn't like super heavy quilting. So this gives lots and lots of gappiness and space so that it's not completely too utterly heavy, and I don't have any complaints, which I don't ever get anyway, but still. There's one row done. Sorry, didn't kick it.
It's okay. You amaze me every time with your work, my love.
Now
You are very talented.
I don't want to go too low, but I don't want to don't put it on yet.
Oh, okay.
I want to make sure that when I come up with the machine to fill in empty spaces, that I can reach those empty spaces without hitting my back railing. Because if I do, of course, I'll have that little dip that I had in the first time that I hit it. But I'll be able to fill this in nicely right there, and see all this sticks out about an inch, inch and a half beyond my back rail. So I should be good from right here. And if you guys can see now, the back of the quilt has flowers all over it. It has hibiscus flowers and little other flowers on it. And it's all batiks. This whole entire quilt is all batiks except for this background, which I think is called shadow play. I don't really know all the names of certain fabrics. I should, but I don't. And because it's a batik, I have to just smooth it out so that everything's nice. I'm going to baste this side real quick, and then I'll come over and baste the other side. I got to change my base stitch to and I just do a 1/2 inch basting stitch. You can do bigger if you wanted, but I just do 1/2 inch because it's easier for me. And as you can tell, I do everything right-handed, even my basting stitching. I like hit all the buttons with my right hand. So this time I'm going to start from up here and make my oh my goodness, what's the word for it? Spine again. So I'm going to come up here and make my spine. That way when I fill the spine in with the feathers, I can hit that top plume first and make sure that I fill in all of my top pieces where there's gaps. So I'm going to put it back on precision mode, press start, and I'm going to start from up here now.
Turning that to the side.
My spines are always organic. I don't follow no specific guide for a spine because that way everything looks better when it's quilted. It comes from all sorts of angles, so it's just technically just going up and down, but it doesn't stay straight. They curve in and so on and so forth. It kind of gives it a different, you know, it just looks more organic that way.
Well, your quilting is awesome.
All right, so now I'm going to start from here, and I'm going to do the top first. I'm trying to learn how to teach myself not to throw the thread on the floor. That way when this darn thing comes in the house, I don't make a mess for my cat to eat. So you can see I stopped my spine, look at this, here, and I left about 1.5 inches, 2 inches about of space. So that way when I come and do the bottom ones, that they can not go beyond my line. And there are little tricks, like you can take a piece of, I don't have any here, but we'll just use this as an example.
Some wire?
You can hook like rope to this piece right here, just as an example, and then hook it to here. And then you can come across right here and with your rope or your twine or something and hook it to the other side with right here, it gives it your stop line. So you know you can only go so far, if that makes any sense, so that you can have a visual line all the way across. So you can do that with twine or something. I don't really do it much because I just give myself a visual. But if you need an actual line to stop you, there's a good idea. Just take some twine or even a measuring tape and hook it from one of your hooks to the other side. Make sure it's within your throat space so you know where to stop.
Hi, Teresa. Teresa says hi. Teresa McBrayer.
Hello, Teresa. So you can see I just did that feather to fill in space, but I still left, you know, a 3/4 inch gap like I have been leaving the whole entire time with my feathers. bobbin?
It happens.
So I'm just going to snip that, find the end source of my bobbin, pull one out, put a new one in. Yes, please.
This blue one, right?
Yep.
There you go.
I'm going to put my bobbin in. Remember, it comes out to your right hand. You stick it in, put it up in the hole, test your tension before you stick it in, because then you're going to have problems if you don't. Remember, if it pulls out of your hand, it's bad. If it doesn't lift up in your hand, it's bad. You want it to lift up, but you don't want it to pull out of your hand. That's good tension. It seems like it would be loose, but it's really not. Trust me. It's like perfect. And you got to do that with every time you change your bobbin, because not all bobbins wind the same. It's just a general rule with the long arm. So.
Ellen says from your camera view, it looks like you're sewing on top of your hand. I forgot that your machine sets backwards.
Yeah. So I always take a couple tack stitches on top of where I ran out of bobbin. And I just manually stick them in there so that it ties off where that bobbin ended. And then I'm going to stop right here, trim that thread, and then get going but in a second, because I have to look underneath for some strange reason. It sounded weird. Oh no, it just ran over a thread. Looks good. Alright, thank you for hanging out. Guys have seen me do this before, but this is what I chose for this quilt specifically, since most of my clients just say do what you want, and this is what I wanted to do.
Ellen cut a stack of 2.5-inch squares.
Ooh, fun.
Lisa's working on not falling asleep. She's currently winding bobbins.
Okay.
Kim got bigger pieces of something.
What's it start with?
Fax period NUDHTA capital T.
Oh, so that's something that she
Yeah, I
probably
think
didn't
she
mean to write.
misspelled something there. Maybe
All
bigger
right.
pieces of
Now to
fabric.
do the bottom
I
side.
don't know.
Side, not size, bottom size. Yeah.
Tiff taught me how to wind bobbins, Mary, so I can do that too now. Good idea, Mary. I need to do that as well. Yep. Always bobbins to be wound.
I have been asked why I don't do both sides at the same time. And it's a brain thing, by the way, just so you guys know. Like some people can do a couple feathers on one side and then the other, and one side and then the other. But then you get a ton of buildup, and I don't want that like a ton of horrible buildup because again, I'm trying to lightly quilt this. But my brain also sees feather plumes on one side, then the feather plumes on the other. It doesn't see it all top, bottom, over and over again, which might save some time. I'm not sure because I don't see it that way, so I never do it that way.
You do it your way. Thanks for that. Yeah, will work. Mary says you running out gave her the reminder to wind bobbins. Everyone is making piping for a bag. Kim is fighting to stay awake also. From a household that believes in naps, you guys can take naps if you need it. We will understand. You're big nappers around here. Barbie panels and a boatload of Barbie fabric to make 2 youngest grands a quilt, purse, basket, and pillow for Christmas. Going to start it as soon as it arrives. She's excited. That sounds awesome, Lisa. I'm sure those little ones will love it when it's done. Another one done.
Let me show it to them first.
I know. I'm not in
This
any hurry.
quilt should go pretty quick. It's only like 50 something by 60 something. I didn't bring the measurements out with me.
My job. Always doing my job.
So you can see how they line up from one row to the next. You can see how I fill in that space so that they nest up and everything fills in all the way down. There's that. Back to the beginning again. Again, I'm going to stop it about 1.5 inches, 2 inches from my ending. I could do that so you're not on the camera.
Not over here. You can only see from there on. I don't know about my head being in the way.
I always put my clamps where my basting stitches ended. So if my basting stitch ends here, my clamp should be within that range. Because if you don't, you're going to pull at a certain area, and depending on the thickness of some battings, you'll end up with some bowing right here, and you don't want that. So make sure you put your clamps where your last basting stitch ended. And I baste as I go, because if you baste the whole thing, here's a big tip. If you baste the whole entire quilt, what's going to happen is when you start stitching and quilting, by the time you get to the end, you're going to have bunches, and it's going to start looking like this because you've already pulled and quilted all of that fabric, and you'll end up bunching up, and it's just a big disaster. So baste as you go, because basting and then quilting creates nothing but bunching, and you don't want that. You want it to be smooth the whole way down. And most cotton battings actually, because they don't have much loft to them, it's a lot easier to flatten everything out when you're using polyesters or lofty batting like I use with some of the quilts that I do. I end up having to flatten everything out manually all the time. This automatically kind of just pulls itself nicely because it's batik, so I'm with cotton batting, and it just pulls amazing. So just know that you need to baste as you go, not in advance, because that will just ruin your project. Unless you're basting something to hand quilt. I've seen long arm quilters baste things for people just so that they can hand quilt it.
Well, Kim says to Lisa, that will be fun. I'm cleaning out drawers lately. I found my old Barbie patterns. I'd forgotten about them.
I have tons of Barbies. You guys want to see Barbies? We can have Barbie do some quilting.
They're talking about Barbie fabric and patterns.
I know.
Not your 3 tubs of Barbies that you refuse to get rid of.
I was a Barbie lover growing up. Come on.
Yeah, but they're all ruined and dilapidated by kids. You need to just give them away.
All right. Face this side. And then this time I'm going to start from the bottom and come up, because I'm alternating the way I do that.
And Ellen said, that's awesome, Lisa. I just started to collect Betty Boop fabrics to do the inside of my cargo van. I will use it for trips until I can upgrade.
One of the first quilts I've ever did has Betty Boop fabric.
Yep, we got Betty Boop on a quilt. Anything else that Thumper likes to lay on? And again, he likes to lay on any quilt that can get to.
Yeah. So again, I'm just going to base stitch on my way down to right here. No sense in doing it the other way.
Hi, Diane. Diane says good afternoon.
I'm going to go back to my thing, and now, again, I'm about 2 inches. I know you can't see under here, but I'm about 2 inches from my basting stitch, and I'm going to come up and go the opposite way now.
Talking about vintage patterns for Barbie clothes. You just a lot of Barbie clothes. says the Betty Boop quilt sounds awesome. Maybe we'll have to bring down Quilt sometime. Huh, honey?
It's horrible.
I know, but it's got Betty
I've
Boop
showed
on
them
it.
before. I'm pretty sure I have.
It's your first one. Everybody's perfect their
It's not my
time.
first quilt. That's my like third quilt, and I was absolutely
Still,
horrible with
it's in
it.
the beginning when you first started.
All right, now I'm just gonna go on the top and then go back on the bottom. Vary my sizes and shapes of my feathers. I don't want them all coming out of the same spot. I kind of want them to fill in all sorts of areas. They don't have to be perfect. Like, what feather is perfect, you know?
I said to you all the time when you were doing your tulips.
You what?
That's what I said to you all the time when you were making your tulips. The flowers in nature aren't perfect, but they don't need to be perfect on your foot. Remember? Joyce says I had a couple of Betty Boop t-shirts from a place I used to work that closed down. They were going to throw them away, and they were brand new.
Wow.
Well, that's awesome, Joyce. Just remember, you can even make a t-shirt quilt if you wanted. Bernie says they are adorable. About your feathers, I believe.
And I'm ready. Hold on, I gotta check my tension because it hit the, I think it hit the edge of the bobbin running out where it doubles over, and yep, it looks pretty good. It's running out bobbin right now. Sometimes the bobbin will like tangle sometimes. It's weird how it happens, the way they roll. It gets to that end and...
Joyce says, someday, Scott, when I get brave.
I knew it. I can feel it. Once you get used to having a long arm, you get used to how it feels during certain things. You can feel when the tension is bad. You can feel when you're out of bobbin. You can feel all sorts of things. It's the weirdest thing. You get used to it.
I told Joyce you can do it. I said we have faith. Plus, you're always here if she has any questions or needs support. Okay, honey?
Yep.
Ellen tells her that she'll buy her Tub and Petty Poop t-shirts.
Okay. Where did I end? Da-da-da-da. I literally just manually stitch over each until it's tacked down good enough.
Alex says, I decorated my van in Betty Boop. I really love her wear. She also says to Joyce, you can do it. Okay. Lisa says, my mill loves Betty Boop. Says, I thought the machine was automatically programmed, but it looks to be doing the pattern.
I don't have any computerized anything.
None of our stuff is computerized, Adeline. Tiff does it all.
I free motion quilt everything I do.
Yep. All the stuff on the Etsy shop, anything you guys get or anything you guys see her making in a video, it's all done by free motion.
That's why I always say there's lots of flaws. Just advance it just like a couple snips. That way I can make some of those feathers long again because I went from the underside this time instead of over. I mean, not the underside of the feather, but I went under, over when I made my spine. So when I start over, I don't have to advance it all for the bottom half.
That is a very pretty quilt. Love the colors.
Thank you. It's my client's quilt for those that are joining.
Yep. Yep, she made the quilt. Tiff is just doing the quilting on it. Hi, Sharon. Sharon says, hi, Tiffany. The colors are pretty. Thank you, Diane. Diane says Tiffany is very talented. She does it all. Huh, Tiffy?
Yeah. Don't forget to stop and move your body, and if you have to stretch or something, don't forget to do those kind of things when long arm quilting, because I can tell you right now, after that carpal tunnel shot that I got, that steroid shot, it's completely weared off, and I can tell because I'm long arming right now.
Bernie says Tiffany is very much the artist. Thank you, Bernie. That's awesome. Good. Ellen says she sure is talented. She does it all manually. Yep, thank you, Ellen.
Although I can be honest with you guys, the last like 3 weeks that this has been sitting in the room in a bag that she brought it in, I have seriously had quilter's block. I really didn't know what to quilt on this because all this blank area, I was like thinking to myself, what the heck am I going to do in there? And I didn't really feel like I wanted to custom quilt it because I didn't want to charge her more than my actual charge that I already said to her, you know. So I was like thinking, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. Darn, I wish I had a computer. Because then I could have just chose the design and just pressed go, you know. But then I just settled on this finally, and I'm like thinking to myself, it's a good thing I don't have a computer because this looks good. So there are those times I wish I did have a computer program to just press go and do it for me, but then I get to doing it and I'm thinking to myself, I'm glad I don't, because it's fun, it's relaxing, and I get to be creative, and it's 100% nothing like anybody else has.
Mr. Bergen says, I feel your pain. I've had those shots in my ankle 6 times. Goodness. Well, thank you, Diane. Diane says, yes, it's all manual. Your head is where the design comes from. DB says she is definitely an artist.
Okay, next row done.
Ellen says Tiffany is just a great teacher.
All right, instead of showing you guys, you pretty much know the drill. I'll show you the whole thing now because I'm almost done.
I mean, we'll show them the whole thing when you're done.
Yeah, I show them the whole thing when I'm done. I'm just saying I'm not going to show them that row now because I'm pretty much almost done.
Oh, I think you worded it wrong, but okay.
Oh. So I just have like a row and a half to go.
I don't know, maybe I misunderstood you. That could very well be.
A tangled myself here. Again, don't forget to leave space because your machine needs to have room. So give yourself about an inch, inch and a half. So like I said, if you have an 18-inch machine, you technically only have 16 inches, which technically only gives you like 14 inches to complete your section. So just remember that. So I'm going to baste real quick. I got some, it's not my quilting, it's her piecing in the corners here. You can see there's some ruffling going on, and that's just because of their being on point. So instead of a bias edge where it's supposed to be, it's not, I think, and that's why it's kind of trying to roll up, but the quilting should get rid of that. And you can see along right here is perfectly straight. For you guys that probably don't look it, but it runs along the line right here. So nice and wonderful. So everything is good and it stays straight the whole entire time. That's one thing you also got to watch for when you're floating your top, is to make sure that everything stays lined up and doesn't get all funky. All right, so this time I'm going to start from the top. Where I base and then come back to the top and then do my thing. And then the bottom I'm just going to do a half of, because technically it's not that much space left afterwards. I'm going to stop about right here. And now I'm going to make my spine from here now to here. Same as before. And then the bottom is just going to come off, back on, come off, back on. So you'll see that when we get to it. Oops. It'd be nice if it was on the correct setting.
That would help too, huh? Diane says, every quilt you make is a work of art. Thank you, Diane.
Even if I'm just the quilter?
Well, that's, she says, every quilt she does is a work of art. I think it's, yeah.
I know. I'm just being silly. All right, here we go. I'm going to do all the top and then come back and do all the bottom, and then you guys will see me do the half when this is over with, because that's all that's left.
Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, DB. DB says, Tiffany is awesome and inspiring.
I'm glad. I'm glad I'm helping somebody. So I know you guys, since you're in this angle here, you can see my hand motions. It's pretty much that same motion over and over and over and over, like literally until it's all filled. The only thing that I change in that motion is how wide I'm going or how skinny I'm going or any of that. That's the only thing that changes. Everything else is still, I come up, like creating like a teardrop, and then come around and then swiftly swoop it back to itself again, creating the feather. So it comes up like a teardrop and then it creates that feather. So I always try to make that come out really. Sometimes they don't. Especially when I'm trying to tell you what I'm doing, then it kind of messes it up.
Hi, Heather. Heather says, hey, hey. Steph is a fantastic teacher and great friend. She's knowledgeable and not afraid of stepping out of her comfort zone. I love that I learned so much from her.
Who said that?
Ken.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Hi, Jessica. Jessica says hello.
I don't know how I learned all this in such a short period of time of 5 years, but for some strange, well, this is 4 years on long arming, so I don't know how or what, but I always tell myself, and I tell you guys, I should have been doing this since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I should have just started when my mom was sewing when I was a kid. But I don't actually remember any of my family members having quilts in their houses. You know that? I don't remember any of them having a quilt in their home. Like, seriously.
When you were a kid, though, you were a gymnast. That was your talent.
Yeah. So a little bit through here, just a little bit more, and we're going to run out of bobbin. Probably can't hear me when I'm beeping and making loud sounds with the machine.
Hi, Zilla. Zilla says hi. She says, wow, she wins the gold with quilting. I told him you were a very talented gymnast as a child, and if your health wouldn't have held you back, you might have went to the Olympics and won the gold.
Yeah, I was.
She said you win the gold in quilting.
I was quite the gymnast.
Yeah. Ellen says, oh my gosh, Scott, me in the U.S. Olympics would have changed the game.
That would have been weird, too, if I would have been able to continue with gymnastics and then became an Olympian and now be a quilter, an Olympian quilter.
Well, that would have changed your whole life.
Yeah.
We probably never would have met. You probably wouldn't even, you know.
Yeah.
Hi, Kelly. Kelly says hi.
Hello. So the video quality's been good this whole time?
So far, yeah.
Okay, good.
Lisa says, so you have an iron named Squeak, a husband named Scott, and a long arm named Beep.
I call it my other husband. That's the name of my long arm, by the way.
Yes, it is her
I
other
really
husband.
didn't name it, but when I refer to my long arm, I say my other husband. Just so you guys know. But if you want to name it Beep, you can.
Kim says the video quality has been great. I don't know why it didn't start off good. Why we had to restart and make a whole new video. That was weird.
Okay, the bottom half is where I'm going to run out bottom.
Well, I got another one out for you.
No, once I start flipping it, watch, it's gonna run out.
Are we taking these off?
No, I'm on the bottom section now. I just needed to advance it a little bit so that I can have my bottom half plumes going when I get there. All right, so now I'm on the bottom. I'm gonna clean this thread mess up real quick and take a drink of water so I'm out of the way for a second.
Oh, tell your hubby we said hi right back, Diane. Diane says my hubby says hi.
Hello, hello. All right. Sorry, I needed to burp, so I stepped out the door so that I could burp while drinking water.
Zella says pretty quilt.
Out of bottom. See?
You called it. Well, I got you one more. You should be able to finish.
Oh,
with
yeah.
that, all right?
One more will finish.
See? Awesome. That was it. Lizette's laughing at Lisa's comment about the iron squeak, me, the husband, and the long arm named Beep.
Get it straight, guys. It's my other husband. I can play with this one and he doesn't complain. He only beeps at me.
Yeah.
Tells me to slow down because I'm too fast.
Oh, all the comments we could say on that one, but we're going to leave that alone.
Yeah, leave it alone. Leave it alone, Scotty.
Leave that one alone.
Oh, that's the first.
What happened?
I gotta check my bobbin real quick underneath because sometimes I break thread when the tension is off. Oh, I just broke thread just to break thread. That is weird. I had
Kim says
thread.
your husband is picky.
Yeah. I think they both are.
Hey, you have way more issues with that one than you do with me.
Hey, this is the first time I broke thread all night.
Lisa says, yep, we'll leave it alone. Oh, he doesn't like it if it's too hot, if it's too cold.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
so picky.
His screen likes to turn off, so I
It
can't
turns
tell
off
him what
on
to
you
do.
randomly. Doesn't like to do the basting stitch when you want to do the basting stitch all the time. For the price of that thing, it's quite picky and finicky.
Yeah. All right, let's see if I can't rectify this problem real quick.
It costs 8 times more than the Geo Metro piece of junk in our front yard, and that thing runs like a champ.
Okay, that's not gonna work. Come on.
Hi, Maureen. Maureen says, lovely quilt. Always fun to watch you create. Thanks for letting us watch.
All right.
Lisa says, oh, this is so good.
Okay, hold on. I had a tangle up in my bobbin. Casey.
Adeline says, wow, lots of talent.
The only thing about owning a long arm is
See you later, Kathy.
be
Kathy's
prepared
gotta
to crawl on your knees because sometimes you have to. or at least squat down. So all those exercises I showed you how to do that one night, remember them because you're gonna need them when you're working on your long arm and you gotta crawl underneath it. Right. My bobbin didn't want to play nice today. At least this one. All right. I'm literally almost done and this has to happen. Go figure. Okay.
Lizette asked if this was a client's quilt there where
Yeah.
you're talking. I told her yes it is, that you were just doing the quilting on it.
Yep. Yep, indeedy. That's what it is.
We're still waiting on the part for the Juki, then Tiff can get back on doing the Not Alone Lone Star. Not Alone Lone Star.
What the hey hey? Hey hey!
What happened there? I heard that.
I tangled again, I think. Yep.
Oh, Adeline asked what kind of thread do you use?
Glide, and usually this does not happen. Usually I could do a whole entire quilt with no problems, but I'm gonna have to rethread real quick the whole thing because I have no idea what is happening.
Diane says, oopsie.
It happens when I'm on camera. This kind of thing just wants to throw a fit.
Well, your fans need to learn these things, so when it happens to them, they know what's going on.
Okay, I'm
I say
fully
this all the time.
rethreaded this time.
You know, they get these, like Becca, she's getting hers set up. She's going to have a lot of issues until she gets used to it. You did. You
She's
had
also
issues
gonna
all the
have to
time.
find what. So I want to show you guys this. See this right here? Inside the bobbin casing, this happened. See this tangle right here? It literally knotted. I hope that's even noticeable on camera. That happened while it was under in the bobbin.
Yeah, I can sort of see it.
Yeah, it tied itself a little knot. So when the bobbin was in the case, it did what it did and decided that it didn't want to be happy.
Be happy.
So it popped itself out and wrapped itself on the actual lip for the bobbin case, because that happens all the time. It's a long arm thing. Oop. Hold on. There we go. Get out of there. Pop you back in the hole. Snap you in. And find where I was.
Lizette says, oh, wow.
Yeah. It can happen. Lots of things happen with these machines.
Diane says, wow, is it supposed to do that?
Nope. It
Nope.
does every once in a while, though.
That's a no. That's a big NO.
But sometimes it happens. Sometimes weird things happen. Like sometimes it'll tangle from up here and it'll just like unravel itself. And by the time it gets to the needle, it's this big, huge knot trying to pass through the needle, and you'll feel the machine go yank, and you can literally tear a hole in your fabric, because sometimes that happens. And that's why I don't use 100% cotton thread all the time, because it's not wound like the polyester is, and the polyester has a coating on it too. So for some strange reason, cotton tends to tangle way more than polyester, like a lot more than polyester does. And it's a lot messier too.
Ellen pulled your thread off. Don't
What?
keep breaking on Tiffany now. She pulled your thread off. She did a bunch of the word symbols for the thread, cutting the thread out. It's funny. You have to see it.
That's one thing about when I'm out here, guys. I can't see comments. Scott has to explain them to me. Okay. Now I'm going to look underneath because I want to make sure that that whole section came out nice after that whole tangle. Oh, that's so pretty. So pretty. Oh, I could see. I wish I could take you guys under here. I really want you to see what happens when that first tangle happened. We're gonna go for a ride
Yeah, take
while
the camera
connected.
under there.
Okay, I'm gonna move. I want you guys to see something under there.
Unplug it. Maybe
This is
unplug
what
it.
happens when it tangles from the bobbin. That tangle that I just showed you. This is what it'll do under the quilt. Do you see that? So when I am finished with this whole entire row, what I'll do is I'll go through and pull all this away and then snip it, you know, but it's already stitched down, the new stitch, but that's what happens. The tangle caused this right there.
Yep, I can see it now.
Yeah, but you can see my tension is like precise under here, so.
Kim says darn.
Yeah.
Diane says contact the company to see if there's anything that you can do to prevent that from happening.
Anyway, ooh, let's put you guys back in the holder. There we go.
Since this machine was new to the company when we first started selling it, I think when Tiff used to call them all the time, she was the one that told them the ideas of what to do.
Oh yeah, I told them all sorts of stuff.
They seriously, literally had to change their instruction manual because of us. Because we called them on their instruction manual because it was wrong. 3 different spots on putting the thing together. Ellen says you're a master artist, Tiffany.
Are you kidding me? See, she cussed at the thread. We should not supposed to cuss at the thread.
Yeah, it doesn't like it now, Ellen. Adeline says glad
I get to the
Tiffany
end
enjoy.
and this happens.
Lizette says beautifully stitched.
Oi. Oi.
Lisa says the backing and quilting is beautiful. Tiddly.
I don't know. I can't see that.
Beyond tiddly.
Not that way. That way. Oi. All right. This time it was just me, I think.
It happens. Yeah, Diane, poor Becca's husband is learning now about putting them together, and then Becca will learn all the little quirks.
Yeah.
In the next few weeks.
And I can't help her with it because hers is an Amara. And it's different than mine. I wanted the Amara originally, but that's not what I got. But that's okay. It's about the same thing. They're both pretty quilter designs.
Diane says I would be under there taking that part out. Maybe it needs oiled.
Oh no, I oil the machine only before quilting. I don't oil the lip anytime while I'm quilting, because then it leaves, somehow oil gets on it and it comes up, and yeah, it makes a mess on the quilt. So I don't do any oiling till before, and then I run the machine with it, and then I do after.
Lisa says, oops, that's dumb. It's supposed to say beautiful. Beautiful. Heather says every machine will have its own quirks. We just have to learn to work with them.
Yep. Oh.
Did it again.
Do you guys hear that awful sound?
I did. It sounded like sand grating.
It grabbed the bobbin. Literally is gonna rip the fabric. Hold on. Gotta go underneath. Oh no! No! Don't do it! All right, there we go.
What's going on with the?
Well, I gotta pull it out.
Bobbin not happy?
No, I gotta pull it out. The bobbin was probably wound bad.
Yeah. Lizette asks, how often do you change your needle?
Honestly?
Yes, honestly.
Honestly, I would change it about every 3 quilts. Every 3 small to medium quilts. If I was doing like a king or a queen, then I would change it after 2. But I don't change it with every quilt because the needles are still super duper sharp. So I gotta move this into an area where I can.
How often do other people say they're supposed to change it?
I'm gonna change my bobbin to a different one. This one might not be wound correctly. Sometimes that happens. Like I said, incorrect wound bobbins could also cause mischief. Oh man, that one really did cause mischief. I got a tangle up in here.
See you later, Judy. Judy has to go. Grandson wants the phone.
Okay, you guys are gonna have to give me a few minutes because I have a serious thread tangle up in the bobbin.
Well, I told him to ask questions while you're working.
There we go. Wow. This whole thing, this little long piece of thread was wound under, over, up, in, and across the lip. So it was stuck and I couldn't get it out. Oh, it happens. It was an incorrectly wound bobbin, I'm pretty sure. That's why it was giving so much trouble.
How did you learn to do the feathers, Ellen asks?
Practice. Practice, practice, practice. This is the easiest feather to do. Of all feathers, this one's the easiest.
Tiff taught herself all this stuff that she knows, Ellen. She did watch many people do YouTube videos and stuff like that, but she never had anyone come over to the house and show her how to do anything.
I didn't take classes because I can't afford that. I spent all my money on the machine, can't afford the classes, and this machine doesn't offer classes unless you live where they sell it. Then you can go take classes.
So she's all self-taught. She says the process of how. What, you just practice?
Yeah, practice. I started out doing them when I was, what's the word for it?
Yes,
sit down free motion quilting. So it made it easier when I got to the long arm.
Dan says that's what caused the problems. Yep, that thread there.
Probably pulled out another piece of thread that I did not get. I can't see behind it either. That's the sucky part about long arm. You can't see behind. Oh, there we go. That came out nicely. You can't see behind the bobbin casing. There we go. Let's see if that helps now. And while I'm right here, I'm just going to snip underneath and get rid of that big chunk. Because it comes right out.
She said, so drawing on paper?
No, I don't doodle. I doodle every once in a while, but I really don't. It's just like to see if what I'm thinking is accurate. Like
she just took fabric that she wasn't going to use for anything, which she calls scrap fabric, and put it on the machine and started going. Right, honey?
Yeah. Here, I'll show you in 2 seconds what he's talking about. Because I keep some out here.
Lizette asks, have you
Grab
loaded
that.
a double wedding ring
No.
on the long arm?
Nope. This is what I do when I need to practice or play an idea or something. I make these. Obviously this was cut out. So what I'll do is I'll make something and I'll say, okay, I want to quilt that. Or I'll play with scrap fabric and ooh, I want to do these arcs with the feathers in it. And you can see this is older, but I keep it here for inspiration, you know? So you can do all sorts of things, or if you want to just practice so that you can get better at certain things, you know, this is what I do. So I make tons of these. I have like a whole stack of them over there with tons and tons of different things. I just load, and this is sheets. This is just me playing with sheets. Like
sheets and scrap batting.
Sheets and scrap batting. That's all I do. I'll just load a whole entire sheet. And then I'll just put a scrap batting piece and then quilt that area and then lift the sheet up, put another scrap batting underneath, lift the sheet up, put another one as I use them. And then I cut them out so that I can remember, oh, hey, I did it like that. Or, oh, hey, I did it like this. But yeah, I have tons of those with all sorts of different really cool designs that I've done over time. You can just stick it over there on that pile.
I liked it here where it was. That way
Grab that bottom blue one. I want to show them that one. I think it's the bottom blue one that I'm thinking of. While we're right here.
That is pretty.
So here's another, just so that you guys can see. I take, again, scrap, and sometimes I reload the same scraps again. You can see where I ended and ran out of batting, so I just have to add another scrap piece of batting in there. See? So I do, can you see this? Does it show up?
I can't tell on mine because everything is blurry from mine. I have to look at your actual phone. It's pretty light, but yes, they can see that.
So you can see I practice all sorts of, like how you saw the wishbones, here's tighter wishbones, or here's smaller wishbones, or here's ribbon candy, or here's larger ribbon candy.
Diane says no, maybe they can't see it.
Here is a whole entire row of the
There now, maybe they can see it. It's pretty close
Like
there.
they look like S's, but they're really not. Here's just a row of feathers, the bump back feathers. Don't mind the thing, it's dirty because it's been stored. And then here's some like looped feathers
Hi,
where
Sherry.
they
Sherry
create.
says that is a beautiful quilt.
This is where they create the whatever. And then when I test my tension, I just make scribbles. That's the best way to test your tension is scribbling. So yeah, I just make tons of these things and practice. Especially if I really, really am stumped on something or how to do something, I make a practice piece and then I quilt it. I'm not going to quilt until you're not behind the machine.
Yeah, please wait till I get out of the way so this thing isn't around.
But yeah, I have stacks of those out here. Some of them I throw away, some of them I don't.
But that says nice. Oh, I did get to see it at the end. There you go. TV says I can see it now. Lizette says a catalog of sample techniques. Yep.
Pretty much.
That's what it is. Whoa, we got 60 people on watching.
And today's Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, we got up to 60. Well, for the longest time, you only had 30 something.
So everybody's getting off to work.
For a while there. Eric Google.
Something works too.
Eric comedian. He's always funny.
Say if you have thread problems on your long arm or it just keeps breaking or whatever, don't get frustrated and walk away and never use your machine again. Keep at it. Just keep your cool. Don't get all pissed off at it, because I did when I first started on my other machine, and let me tell you, it was very loud out here of me cussing and yelling. So just keep your cool and deal with the problem. And if it does frustrate you enough, stop and then come back to it. But don't ever walk away forever. I've heard people say, oh, I can't never get it right, and then they walk away for a long time. Don't do that, because then that's just a waste of however much you paid. This is $10,000 right here. I'm not wasting $10,000. You know what I mean? It's just keep it cool with it, because it's going to happen. You'll have thread breakages, and changing threads all the different times, going from Orafill to Isocord to whatever to Glide, you name it, you're going to have to change settings every single time. So just remember that and stay cool.
Thank you, Lisa. She tells everyone to give you a thumbs up. Mary says I'm supposed to be boxing stuff up the moon, but I've had enough for today. Yes, I think we all hate moving.
I just realized, that's not horrible. I have a little bit of a bad tension area right here. It must have been like right when I ran out of thread. Ooh, yeah. I'm not happy with that.
Uh-oh, do we need to pick it out? I can start picking?
No, I'm going to come back to it.
I know how to do that. You taught me.
Can you see the eyelashes?
Like this?
Yeah, how far down does it go?
It's right there.
It's only this section? Well,
Yeah,
this
it's
piece
right
is
there.
got too right here. See this? This loop has eyelashes in that loop.
I don't see it anywhere else. I only see it right there, but then again, I don't see what you're talking about on all these other loops. I see it there
You have
today.
to do the stitching perfectly, individually, one at a time, not a solid piece of thread.
Oh, so where it's a straight line there?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
That must have been right when I changed the bobbin, or when I ran out.
it starts right there.
Okay.
It's not anywhere. Oh, Maureen has a question. What size is this quilt? Hello, Maureen. How you doing?
It's only barely longer by its width, so it is 51 by like 56, I think is what it is. It's a really weird size. Very, very weird size.
Hi, Darlene. Darlene just saw it. We were on. Diane says it's a lap quilt.
Yeah, it's small. That's why you guys can see the whole thing in one screen. So I'm going to finish the whole entire thing before I go back to where I need to pick. But I want to get the rest of this done real quick. Because I only have a half of a row to do now. But I'm going to... I have an area that I want to pick out back here. So, but I'm going to finish it first. And then you guys can see what I do when I check all my tension and all that. Before I take it off the frame, I always check to make sure everything is awesome. Because if not, then it's just... I got to pick it before I unload it, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does.
Because if you can't quilt it before unload, if you notice it while it's on, it's easier than having to try to free motion quilt the whole area that got messed up or reloading the darn thing just to fix a spot. I'd rather fix it and then load, take it off. So now I'm just going to baste across the whole sides and bottom, and you can see it's very, very straight.
Darlene says I'm finally on my last binding for now.
Straightening out the batting real quick, even more than it already is.
Hi, Grammy. Grammy says I had to do that twice this week. LOL. I think she's talking about the picking and fixing the mistake thing.
Alright, now I'm going to stitch my basting stitch down here and then across the whole bottom. And then I can do my half feathers. And some quilts lay so flat that I don't even have to do anything special with. Alright, so now I'm going to do one thing before I start quilting, and you guys are going to watch how I do this. I always find my scissors. Where are my scissors? They're right there.
Right, you just lay them down.
Before I start quilting, I am going to cut away the batting.
Did you change that?
No batting. I don't need to be quilting on all this batting. This can be saved for something else. I just cut it off.
Did you change out the bobbin altogether? Is this one bobbin that was having issues?
Yeah, you can just unwind that whole thing. It has issues. It's not going to work. It's going to keep breaking or tangling. All right.
Add one.
Yep.
Waste.
I have to watch myself. As you guys can see along this edge, there's my pins, but they're kind of folded up, which is a good thing. Because or else they stab my stomach, and I've told you guys what's happened before. That I've stabbed my stomach.
I was going to just pick that up now.
Okay. So now I'm going to go back to my precision mode. And this time I start from the top. So I'm just going to create a curve right here, come down, come over, up, down, over. And it does not have to be any curve now at the bottom because this is just a half. So.
Grammy says that back is gorgeous.
Isn't it? It's a batik. On the other side of it, though, the correct side, it's really it's got shiny.
Sparklies.
Whatever it's called.
Sparklies?
There's a word for it. I'm just not. I don't got it right now. The word. So I'm gonna come down, over, as if I'm coming up and around, coming over, as if I'm coming up.
This is metallic?
Yeah, that's the word. Metallic was the word. Why can't some words just come to me?
I'm sure all this has to come on. Look at all this.
Yep.
This is a ton that's red.
Yep, and it's gonna get wasted because I can't use it. All right.
Darlene says the back looks like a hibiscus.
Yes,
And it is. You got it right, Darlene.
All right, so here we go now. I'm just gonna do all the top across the whole entire thing, and then, you know, come down and do the bottom.
Yeah.
Same thing I've been doing this whole time. I'm going to come off straight. I'm not going to curve around. So my feathers are going to end. And then they're going to start.
Claire says, why did I lose the word ambivalent the other day? Who knows? Well, I don't know.
You should see Scott, guys. He's unraveling a bobbin onto the floor, and it looks like he's playing catch the thread with a mouse.
Okay, let's see why. It's knotted right here.
Yeah, that's why it tangled.
It's done. I can't get it to... Cut it off. Let's see. You guys see that? I don't know how well you can see it. It's stuck right there. It's knotted. It won't come anymore. I have to cut it off. That's what happened. Darlene, we are all losing words lately. Must be something in the air. I mean, everyone around. And says, what a mess.
do the bottom section underneath, and then we're gonna roll to find the spot that needs to be picked and do that. Oops, sorry.
Okay.
I didn't realize your hand was like right there. Alright, this is the last of it, and then we gotta go find that spot to pick.
Says if the quilt is less than 60 inches long, it's left. From 60 to 80, it's lounge. Over 80 is a twin length. Then I start looking at the width as to what bed size. Granny asks, is that a magnifier on your machine? I need one of those.
A what?
Magnifier?
No.
No, we don't have a magnifier.
This is my camera holder for when the camera's on the machine.
Yeah, that holds her phone when we did videos with it right on the machine.
But I figured today we would do the how I do it view, where you see me actually quilting, so you can see the whole view.
Granny says,
I think I would get lost if there was a magnifier on here, because this has been brought up now. If there was a magnifier, you're going to get lost on, because it's going to magnify just the needle section on where you're supposed to be watching above you and below you. You're not really watching the needle. You're watching where you're going to go, not where you are, if that makes any sense. So a magnifier would not really work, because unless you're going super duper slow.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. You go very fast.
I go so fast, the magnifier would confuse my eyeballs as to where I'm going and where I'm landing.
Dan says, love that blue at the bottom. Alright, now to go back to where I know I need to pick. That's the fun part. So it shouldn't take too long. I'm just going to take my side clamps off and leave them off now. And what I'm going to do, move the machine completely out of the way. I'm going to roll myself back onto myself, and I'm going to watch where I need to pick. So that's going to end up right here. Roll myself back onto myself. I like that.
I'm holding my finger at it.
Can I help you roll it at all so you don't have
So
to...
I know it's these ones right here.
Hey, can I help you?
Indention.
Are you hearing me, woman?
Yeah. No, not really.
I can stand on the back and roll and tell you
Alright,
where
so
you
I'm
gotta
gonna go underneath. And you guys will see what I do to pick all this real quickly. I'm gonna pick the bottom first. And Scotty's gonna hold his finger at the top.
Where?
See where I'm pointing right now?
Here?
Can you feel the pokey?
Yeah, right
Okay,
there.
keep your finger there. I'm gonna pick all this out first. Come on. You can release your finger, just know where you were.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Diane. Diane says don't forget to vote for your quilt, and she put the thingy on there.
Oh, good, thanks. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I only pick the eyelash areas. It's not very, it's only 3.
Hi, Patty. Patty says I love that quilt.
It's only
Joyce says I voted this morning.
3 feather prongs, rungs, or whatever you want to call it. Prong, is it? Whatever. 3
Leaves?
feather leaves. Feather
Leaves.
pieces.
Blades, I guess you could call it. Feather blade. I would say leaf, though. I don't know.
There's a word.
If it's on a feather, I don't know exactly
I think
what
it's
you call it.
prawns is the actual word, feather prawns.
Oh.
Alright, so my bottom is mostly picked.
Feather pond.
Can I have the scissors right there, please? Thank you.
Feather blades. How about that? That's what I would go with, a blade. Thank you, Kim. Kim says remember thumbs up, subscribe, share, ring the bell, get notifications.
Yep. And just remember, if you have a long arm, you'll need to be able to get underneath it, so make sure you stay limber, sort of. Because if I start quilting this, if I was to have picked from the top, I'm going to give you guys a little lesson. If I would have picked from the top first, I would have had all those little pieces hanging at the bottom, and those would get tangled if I restart to quilt again. So it's best to just unhook from the bottom first and get rid of all those dumb little threads down there. Then come to the top and pick out the rest of the stitches.
Howdy, Jim. How you doing?
Because from the top, it's going to leave a bunch of hangies, and they're going to be stuck to the quilt, and then you'll end up quilting right over them.
Jim says that link is for Becca. I don't know how to do the link thing, so I'm sorry. I know it's on the group. That's how I vote. I vote every day when I get up and look at my phone to see what time it is. I go to the quilting group and I see the pictures, all the stuff you guys are doing. I'm not a big commenter or anything. Once in a while I hit like on them, but I look at all the pictures, all you guys' stuff, and then I vote on Tiffy's quilt because I scroll down until I can find her link.
All right.
Thank you, Carissa. And hi. Carissa says she voted earlier.
Good. Thank you.
Jim says I'm good. He's been lurking for
All
a
right.
while.
Now I'm going to bring my machining back.
Did you see this spot?
Yeah.
Right here. Okay. Do you need this at all?
No.
Okay. Well, it was in the way of your machine, so I had to move it. Had to move it.
I am just going to put 1 clip on each side because I really don't need both for this.
Joyce does that too. See? Great minds think alike, right, Joyce? There you go.
And all I'm going to do is try to stitch over my previously stitched lines because there's holes now in the quilt. I'm not very good at that whole going over my exact same lines though, but after a while you get used to it and you kind of can.
Joyce says, right? Mervyn says, I didn't realize I'm not even in the group in that link. Spurman, I'm still waiting on enchiladas. I'm getting mighty hungry. I bugged her earlier. I didn't see any comments from her for a while.
Because she's cooking.
Well, I messaged her. I said, where's the enchiladas at? I'm hungry. I messaged her a while ago.
All right, so now I'm going to undo my pin, and I'm going to check over the rest of it because that was the only space with that bad bobbin. But I'm going to check over the whole entire thing real quick. I'm going to move my machine out of the way. I'm going to finish rolling, and I tend to just watch this. right along here. So if I see anything wrong, I look at the whole entire thing because I've now only had one area. So we just want to make sure that there's no more than one tension messed up area.
Heather says if you can't stay limber, you can get a mechanic's creeper and a welder friend to lift it a bit and roll on under there.
Yeah.
LOL. Oh, thank you, Suburban. Suburban says they're coming out of the oven in about 5 minutes, all from scratch, except for the tortillas.
I'm just like going over the whole thing real quick, making sure, because I had one area. You never want to pull it if, like, some of my quilts, if I didn't have any thread breakage or any bobbin problems, I wouldn't be doing this whole extra step. But because I had thread problem from the bobbin tangling from the bad wound bobbin, I'm going to go ahead and check the whole entire thing. But obviously it was that one spot so far. So far so good. And then I will unclip. My shirt keeps getting stuck to it. And I'm going to take the whole entire thing now all the way through, just like that. And I don't see any more problems. Let's unpin. So I'm going to take my pins out, and then...
Oh, Sherry just voted. Thank you, Sherry.
Then we'll do that whole pulling it off thing where you guys get to... Oh, wow. We'll do it really slow. If I can get all these pins out. Probably help if I roll this up closer to me. And my garage is cleaned up so I can actually hold the quilt up once Scott turns some lights on in here.
Yes, I can do all that.
You guys will be able to see it better.
I can do all that.
Well, at least half the garage is clean at the moment. All right.
Oh, that's good, Suburban. Suburban watched your video on how to make enchiladas, I asked her.
All right, here we go.
She said she's seen it.
Ready? This is everybody's favorite part. Go very slow. Very slow. Very slow. So very slow.
Dun, 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 dun.
So very slow.
Ba, 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 ba. Drum roll, please.
On big, huge quilts, it's really hard to do these.
Well, then you just would roll this, the top one,
Bam.
by hand.
All right.
Suburban says very nice.
And then I'll hold the whole thing up, obviously. Ow! Son of a...
Tiffy, you do that all the time.
That's because I'm going the opposite way of the way I usually pull the pins from the head, not from the poke.
Then start over here and go down.
I'm good, I already get it. Notice I don't waste fabric. I usually take all the way to the top. When I pin something, I pin it, and then I come right to the top, literally as long as I'm not running my pins over. I'm not into having extra wasted fabric because...
Well, Lizette says beautiful. Diane says, I love the backing. What is it called?
No idea. All I know is the whole entire thing is batik except for that one area. All right. I'm going to have Scott turn the camera head. You got to undo this.
Grammy says, I started sewing the back onto the leaders. No more bleeding.
All right. Can you see the whole thing?
I can turn the camera however you want. You don't have to. Bernie says, oh my goodness, it's wonderful. Yes, I think it is.
So it's not super heavily quilted.
Lizette asks, have you ever attached binding on a long arm?
Yes. But since this is a client quilt, I don't have the binding to do that with. Or else I could have showed you. When I get to a quilt that has binding, I will be able to show you guys.
Grammy says, beautiful.
That's back.
Jim says, awesome. Kim says, awesome. Diane says, cool beans.
On the back side. It's the same, what is it called again? Cool blue? Or something blue. What is it called again?
I don't know.
I said it at the beginning. Steel blue.
Steel blue.
It's called steel blue. That's the color of this thread. So here's the quilting.
Jessica says, I follow someone who added a zipper to her leaders, so she just zips it together instead of using pins. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Because then I'd have to sew in the house and bring it outside and then hope it lines up and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to. bother with that. But you guys can see all the feathers.
Well, they're all loving it. You're getting gorgeous.
Okay.
Thank goodness I got a phone tripod for Christmas. Now I can watch you and sew, Carissa says. Linda says very prettiful. Darlene says beautiful. Lizette says great masculine quilt. Diane says cool beans. I think I read that one.
And you guys could see my car and my halfway cleaned garage. Look at, see? My garage is kind of clean. Look.
Oh yes, because they needed to see the goofy.
All right, so there it is.
But I love you.
So it's very spaced out. It's not heavy. You know, I could have done this where they were super tight and super heavy. But at least all this empty space is now filled in really nicely. You know?
Diane says it's a lovely quilt.
So,
Grammy
quite
says,
simple.
Great job, Tiff.
And you can see it ends with that half a row, but it still looks awesome. So,
Suburban says, I just try not to look at my garage.
well, I have to clean this whole side up now.
Jessica says it's organized. Garage.
Anyway. Hi, guys. Anyway, so I am done. I'm going to go inside and not do anything because I don't.
Are you going to read to them how many stitches and all that? You do that
Oh,
most
yeah.
time?
Every time. Every
Yeah.
time. Let's see.
Bernie says beautiful.
Anyone want to take a wild guess how many stitches are in this quilt? Anybody? Anybody? What do you think? How many stitches are in
And this says
that
quilting,
quilt?
Tiffany, very pretty. Patty
Out of
says,
curiosity?
Nice quilting.
Okay, fine. I'll just show you. It has 89,742 stitches, and it took, the machine ran for 1 hour and 39 seconds. So this quilt took me an hour and 30 minutes-ish to do.
89,000? Well,
Technically
so far,
two,
the
well,
ones that
yeah, there
guessed
was some
Kim
screwing
the
around.
closest.
But yeah, that's how many stitches.
Kim
So
said
now I just have
85,000.
to write it down. Yeah, that's a lot of stitches, huh? Like, you guys would be surprised how many stitches actually go into these quilts. And when we're right here, just because
That
won't,
was a small quilt, guys.
I won't remember. It was
Imagine doing a
59.
bigger
Was
one.
it 59? What's today's date even? 2/23? 21.
I don't have my phone on
I'm
me,
just
I don't
guessing that it's the 23rd, guys.
know. I don't have my phone. Can't tell you.
It has
I just
8,
know it's a
9,
Tuesday.
742, 8, 9, 742, and it's an oddball
It's the
size.
23rd.
Ooh, look at that! I got that correct. I went to the doctor's today. I should know.
Kim says in my prize. Give a thumbs up.
51 inches by like 56 inches. That's what it was. Okay, and then it is. I don't even know the name of this quilt. That's what kind of quilter I am when I take in my clients' quilts. I don't even know the name of it.
Maybe she doesn't have a name.
Blue client quilt. I used steel blue thread.
Grammy said wow. DB said great job, Tiff.
And all over feathers. And it took 1 hour, and I'll just put 1 hour and 30 minutes because that's how long.
Sounds good.
The machine ran technically an hour, so just take a little bit of time for the back and forth stuff.
Mary asks, we're supposed to name our quilts?
Oh, I just meant like the name of the pattern. Like usually sometimes if there's a pattern name, I'll write the pattern name to my client's quilts just so that I'll remember. But instead I just put her name.
You don't
client
have to name
quilts.
them, Mary. Tiff names some of them, especially for ones that she puts.
Yeah,
We put like
I
on
name some.
Etsy. We have to name those, but most of them she just kind of calls them whatever.
Anyways, I'm going to get off of here. Thank you guys for hanging out for 2 hours and watching me quilt this beauty.
Really, 2 hours? Wow, most of them.
Yep. Lately, my hours have been. Lately, my videos have been 2 hours, literally. So it's been crazy. Anyways, if you're new, subscribe on this side. I think. Yeah, this side. like my videos, share them with your quilty friends, as well as don't forget to comment if you're watching this as a replay. And I will see you guys
Patty
next
says
time
I have
I'm
to start
on.
quilting a design other than meandering.
And I can't press buy because I have Facebook messages all up on my screen. Come on, go away. There we go.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you guys next time.